Trouble. My goodness, I wrote Trouble's melody in less than an hour. I went with a 2-chord structure where it flipped back between F and F minor. Trouble is the second time that I used this key, and I could tell that my voice evolved to fit nicely here. It's a few half steps lower than the A minor, B flat major keys that my first songs originated and where I originally started writing. The producer was extremely skilled in hearing my wishes from both a creative and a technical standpoint. Simple, easy. I recorded this out of town in a beautiful studio. My mastering engineers, they're geniuses and they're based out of New York. These are just amazing guys that I've worked with since Hurricane. So I always have great options when it comes to masters. Trouble's lyrical meaning is very different than the video meaning. The lyrical meaning is basically doing anything for love. And the video was taken from something I was going through at the time, which involved, a stalker and someone who wanted to copy my every move, which doesn't seem to end. It doesn't seem to end. We filmed it in downtown LA in 2 different locations. It was a night shoot. And so it was exciting to be running all over downtown in sky-high boots and a trench coat. Even got called out for my outfit being awesome on the street. In the video, someone is chasing me the entire time. It was shot in a film cinema style, very like a suspense, killer, thriller vibe. The only lighting that we actually had was coming from storefronts, street lights, or apartments, which wasn't very many, but we made it work. The stars also gave us a little bit of light. I don't look at numbers on anything as the gospel, but it's always nice when people appreciate and share your art that you've worked so hard on. Over 100,000 views on a music video just on your YouTube channel, that's still fly to me. Fly.
Talk about writing for other artists and for TV.
Here's what I think. Writing for other artists is a little bit more of a task because your lyrics have to read, they have to read to other people. It has to be something universal that others can understand and feel in order for them to be able to perform it well. So when you're writing for you, it's more personal. You don't really have to think about, what it could mean for someone else or if the passion will be there during a performance or recording, because it will. I still think about everyone else being able to relate to it in some way, but not all songwriters do, which is still fine. No matter what, I want some of my personal touch in everything, always emotional and pretty. I have songs in my arsenal right now that I wrote with certain singers in mind. When I write for other artists, I imagine them singing the actual song to see if I can tell if the composition and the lyrics would suit their voice and fit their vibe. I try so hard to familiarize myself with keys that other artists are used to singing in, and also lyrics that straddle the line between spicy and too spicy. Some artists like a little more innuendo, so those are all factors. I've been writing a few things lately for specific people, and we'll see what happens with that manifestation.
You have to talk about Tell Me.
Ooh, Tell Me. I don't want to forget Tell Me. One day I got a call from the head of music at ABC Family TV, Freeform Music, and he asked me if I wrote all of my songs. And I was like, yeah, actually, I did write all of them. And he said, okay, well, I want to do a song deal with you that you can write for the network. And I was like, okay. At the time, only Symptoms of You and Come Find Me were actually released to the public. And I was working on other projects. So the music video for Come Find Me had just come out. I'm trying to paint you the picture of where I was in my career at this time. I wrote the song Tell Me right around the time I was recording Like You. Tell Me came out first, and Tell Me is incredibly sad, but the tonality, ad-libs, and everything make it feel a bit more passionate. Emotion in life can feel like a mix of different things. Music should evoke emotion, but also I like it to lean on the edge of sexy that isn't forced. I went in with Blair Taylor. He's a super talented producer. I taught him the song with just playing his piano and singing. Then he just got it. We recorded the whole song in 2 hours. I came up with the bridge on the spot. which is just without words because I wanted there to be a longing. Oh, so that part connects to the final chorus. I left the studio with a demo in hand, and a few days later, a full production was sent over to the network for notes and approval. The first song that I wrote with a post chorus or B section, and that became a structure that I kept using moving forward. I ended up saying, I was like, is this going to work? And the producer was like, yeah, it's definitely going somewhere because it's too good. So I heard later that it would be either associated with The Fosters or Famous in Love, which were two shows that were high rated on Freeform at the time. And we didn't know which. Some of the same producers worked on both. And an editor told me that the two were fighting over it, trying to figure out which show it would be attached to. I didn't even care because I watched both of those shows and I just didn't even know what to think. And flash forward a couple months or so later, I woke up one morning to a bunch of posts and tags of the trailer of Famous in Love featuring the song. And I was already so into the show. So the season 2 trailer with my song carrying it was just absolutely surreal. I will always be grateful for that blessing because it's something that many artists don't get the opportunity to do with their music at all, ever. So, and I did it just on year 3. So